Hi guys, Roderick Wormsley here. Today I'd like to talk to you about some new technology. I say that new in inverted brackets because until recently this technology was only readily available to people with larger vessels, with consoles, controls, gauges, etc. NMEA2000 now offers people like myself with a 4.3, I've got a 4.3 meter tabs, a 50 horsepower Yamaha, and on board I run a Humminbird ONIX 10. I chose these two models or brands because they can actually talk to each other. And when I say talk to each other, I'm getting data transmitted from my engine to my sounder, and that tells me exactly what my engine is doing. Hours, fuel economy, and distance traveled, etc. All engine management data that makes maintaining and running my engine a lot better. So in the next clip, we'll have a look and see exactly how I do it. So we've basically touched on the fact that NMEA2000 gives you engine management data on your sounder, telling you exactly what your engine is doing. To be able to get that information on your sounder, you need to have several components that are all compatible. So firstly, an engine which is NMEA2000 compatible. So it basically means that it is able to transfer data out of the engine. That is why I chose the Yamaha 50 horsepower 4-stroke, because it is. I then run a data cable from my engine, so from under the cowling, through my wiring loom, and into a Yamaha gateway. So the gateway is basically reading the information from the engine. It's translating it so that your sounder or GPS or plotter can understand it. For this Yamaha gateway to operate correctly, you need a power source. So I've run power to my battery, information into a backbone, which is these T-pieces. This backbone has also got power. I then run an Ethernet cable from my backbone. Once again, I run a wiring harness, and that runs into the back of my sounder. And that basically transmits the data from that Yamaha gateway into the sounder. And once that's all connected up, I can then get gauges on my sounder. So basically, this is telling me straight away, if I just at a glance, that I've got 51.1 hours on my motor, which means another approximately 50 hours and it'll be due for its 100-hour service. It can tell me things like how much fuel I'm using per hour, or how many kilometers I do per litre, and it's telling me that I've got 11.9 volts in my battery, which is a bit low. I'd obviously need to charge it, and you can modify those gauges to suit. In our next clip, I'll show you exactly how I can manage my fuel by running my fuel tank through my sounder. So we've spoken about NMEA2000 briefly. We've also looked at how to go about actually physically getting the gauges, the data from your engine to your unit. So I'll give you a quick example of how we can use that NMEA2000 technology to manage our fuel usage on board our vessel. On the Humminbird ONIX, we just go to the home screen. We can either select the fuel tab by using our finger touch screen, or we can use our toggle switch. For the rest of this exercise, I'll use the toggle switch just so that you don't see any of this happening. So we've got three options there. We've got fuel log, refuel, or settings. So we select the settings button. That allows you to modify or change the fuel to suit your vessel. On my boat, I've got a 25 litre jerry can. So I've set my fuel capacity to 25 litres. I'll go into the refuel tab. So I've done a day's fishing already with my boat. I select refuel. That then shows you my fuel tank, according to the data that the engine has told me I've used in the day. So 40% of my fuel is gone. I've got 10 litres left. You can see down there, total fuel left is 10 litres. Fuel used according to my log, which has been saved, is 40.9 litres. If I've gone to the servo, I've filled up that jerry can once again to 25 litres. I simply select the fill up button, which is that button there. You can see just there, fill up. I hit the tab. I now have 25 litres of fuel left in my tank. I start fresh once I go fishing. As I use that fuel, so the sounder will basically tell me that I'm using the fuel, and it'll show me at any stage. I can go back to this and it'll tell me exactly how much fuel I've got to use. Simple and effective way of managing your fuel.